Shows like Shark Tank and Dragon's Den have brought business ownership to the forefront of popular culture. Entrepreneurs are the new rock stars, and even more appealing is the idea of one day sitting on the other side of the table, analyzing businesses with the intent of investing your own money into the next big startup. There are more entrepreneurs and startups today than ever before. We are living in the golden age of innovation, ingenuity, and creativity. The Internet has made it easier for anyone to bring their ideas to life and create an enterprise in the pursuit of financial freedom. Before we get started, let us ask you a question. Which of the sharks would you most want to partner with, and why? Let us know your answers in the comments. Shark Tank provides an amazing platform for startups, and we're going to explain everything there is to know about getting on the show and being hugely successful. Application process. The first step for any entrepreneur wanting to face the sharks is completing an online application or attending a live casting call. During this stage, you are really just introducing yourself to the producers, so they know you exist and are interested in taking part in the show. The idea at this stage is to be noticeable, have a personality, and be entertaining. Keep in mind the aim of Shark Tank is to provide value to its audience, whether it is through entertainment or education in business. A good example of this is Freaker, Season 4, Episode 6. When an unusual, hipster-looking entrepreneur walked into the tank pitching what looked like a sock for your beer bottle, one might think how this guy possibly got on the show over the thousands of businesses that didn't. There are many factors as to why producers want certain personalities on the show, and it's not always about entertainment. It can come down to how they represent business and entrepreneurship in America and the diversity of entrepreneurs, the general vibe and trends in the country. Audition stage. If you are lucky enough to get past the first stage, then you will be called in for an audition and pitched live to producers. At this stage, you should focus more on the actual business, but also try to show as much of your personality as possible. Again, there are many factors producers look at when deciding which businesses they want shown on Shark Tank, and it's not always the best business. Firstly, there needs to be a mix of good and bad. If you notice, most Shark Tank episodes have a general theme. Each episode has 4 pitches. It starts off with a good pitch, which gets an offer or a deal, then 2 pitches which are bad and don't get offers or highly criticized, then finish with a good pitch to end the episode on a positive note. Secondly, they want the businesses to be relatable to viewers. They choose businesses that represent a general vibe in the country and are created by humble, struggling entrepreneurs. The general narrative of Shark Tank is the underdog pitching to millionaire investors and making it big, not big businesses getting bigger. Your business should fit the mold. You don't want to be overly successful, and you don't want to be boring. They prefer something innovative, creative, and interesting, so it shows the talent pool America has to offer. Try to demonstrate why your business is integral to the general vibe in the country at the time. For example, what is happening in America that your business can relate to? Is there any particular trend, a hot topic, an issue people are talking about? All these things play a part in the selection process. Chances are you will have to go through many rounds of auditioning before you are selected to pitch to the Sharks. You will have to maintain your passion and enthusiasm throughout every round as someone else is fighting for that spot the same way you are. Here are some statistics. 30,000 people apply to go on Shark Tank every year. Only 200 get to pitch to the Sharks, and only 100 pitches get aired. Pitching to the Sharks. If you've made it to this point, congratulations. This is one of the biggest opportunities of your life. Remember, you are creating a TV show, not just pitching your business. Don't be afraid to make some noise. Stand your ground. Disagree with the Sharks. Fight your corner. Be entertaining. Be funny. Show emotion. Be likable. Be unlikable. The more personality you show, the more you will connect with viewers, and that's really what this is about. The Sharks are independent to the show. They are not involved creatively or control the narrative. In essence, they are similar to the pitchers, characters on which the show is centered around. Some key things Sharks look for: passion. And we don't mean looking passionate by crying or showing emotion. Demonstrate your passion through your knowledge of your business, knowledge of your market, knowledge of your competitors. These things show how passionate you are because they show you live and breathe your business. Articulate your business. You should be able to explain your entire business, including business model and path to profit, very clearly and quickly. Don't spend 10 minutes trying to explain your business when you can do it in 1 minute. Show proof of concept. You don't need to have $1 million in sales. You just need to prove there is a demand for your product. Know your numbers. We've seen it many times. Pitchers not knowing the basic of numbers, for example, revenue, profit, loss, expenses, customer acquisition cost, etc. If you don't know this, it's very unlikely you'll get a deal. Getting a deal doesn't mean you're getting a deal. Once the cameras stop rolling, it can take anywhere between 3 to 9 months to close the deal, if it closes at all. There is intensive due diligence and background checks carried out before a contract is signed and money handed over. During this time, either the pitcher or shark can decide to walk away from it because things have changed at this point. Airing of your pitch. You've gone through the motions. It's been 2 years since you first applied to go on Shark Tank, and your episode is about to air. You're about to be seen pitching your business by over 8 million people. You'll probably want your family around so you can watch it together. Your website will be blowing up, and you will get thousands of free visitors to your site and a huge opportunity to sell. Make sure your server can handle the traffic. What happens next? Since your pitch aired on Shark Tank, you, hopefully, will have taken advantage of all the opportunities that come your way. Now is the time to ramp up your business and grow it to its fullest potential. It's not uncommon to get a guest appearance on Shark Tank again in the form of an update. This gives you an opportunity to get in front of 8 million people again. According to Kevin O'Leary, businesses get another spike in traffic sales during the update slot, so it is worth reaching for it. The overall goal at this point is to be attractive for an acquisition. Some notable exits from Shark Tank include Groovebook. When appearing on Shark Tank, founders Julie and Brian Whiteman secured a deal from Mark Cuban and Kevin O'Leary for 80% of the licensing rights for $150,000. Before appearing on the show, their lifetime number of subscribers was around 18,000 members. After appearing on the show, they had 500,000 paying subscribers within a very few short months. Within 15 months of appearing on Shark Tank, they had sold the company to Shutterfly for a cool $14.5 million. Plated. After securing an offer from Mark Cuban at $500,000 for 6% equity, the founders, Josh Hicks and Nick Taranto, decided the business had now outgrown that valuation and walked away from the deal. Later, Kevin O'Leary reached out to them to offer an undisclosed deal, which they accepted. During the recap version of Shark Tank, it was clear the company was facing many challenges. They were having trouble facilitating orders, and O'Leary didn't seem happy about it. The tone and look of the founders seemed like they were overworking and completely exhausted. Their hard work and determination, however, seemed to pay off. When in the 9th series of Shark Tank, it was announced that Plated had been acquired for $300 million, making it the biggest Shark Tank exit thus far. Doorbot, Ring. One of our favorite pitches was by a guy called James Smirnoff, who was pitching his then company Doorbot. After taking a few jabs at Kevin, Smirnoff left the tank without a deal. Smirnoff was eventually contacted by Richard Branson of the Virgin Group, who invested in Doorbot. Somewhere along the line, Doorbot's name was changed to Ring, and the company had grown massively since appearing on Shark Tank. By the 10th season, Ring had become a $1 billion unicorn and was acquired by Amazon for $1 billion. This has been the biggest exit in Shark Tank history, and none of the sharks were even involved in it. There doesn't seem to be any bad blood between any of them, as James Smirnoff was invited back on the 10th season of Shark Tank as a guest shark. What did these three companies have in common? 1, they were confident and stood their ground when it came to valuation. All three pitches knew the value of their business and what it could be worth. They didn't accept a deal for the sake of accepting a deal. 2, they leveraged the power of Shark Tank. Once their pitches aired, they focused on growth and maximizing sales. 3, they positioned themselves well for an acquisition. Realizing that the future of the business will be determined by protecting their IP and building a brand, they focused on the end goal rather than a short-term vision.